Hello?
Lauren, I can hear you. Give me just a second.
Okay.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, it is working just fine. Thank you, Lauren, so much. It's so good to see you again.
It's good to see you too.
Thank you. I'm going to start just like we've started all our other sessions, and I'm going to jump into the informed consent for this virtual meeting. Is that okay with you?
That's fine.
Okay. Lauren, I consent to video audio recordings being made of mock counseling sessions and to these recordings being used to aid in the growth of counseling knowledge and skills. I consent to the excerpts from these recordings or descriptions of them being used by the Grand Canyon University faculty and staff for the purpose of supervision, research, and/or teaching. I understand that any part of a conversation that is recorded and/or written down will be kept confidential. I will not disclose any information that may identify me in the mock counseling session recordings. The information given will be fictional and I will use an alias. I understand that Zoom will be used to record counseling sessions and that Zoom meets both HIPAA and FERPA confidentiality standards. I understand that if the recording of the mock counseling session activates any suicidal ideation or other potentially harmful thoughts, I will reach out to a professional in my area immediately. Neither GCU, the college, nor the counseling student will be held accountable if I harm myself. Lauren, do you agree to this informed consent?
Yes.
Do you agree to have this virtually signed?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Lauren, for your participation in that. So tell me, Lauren, what would you like to talk about during today's session?
Well, I have some news.
Okay, bring it.
I moved out of my boyfriend's house.
Okay.
So I'm currently living with a close friend. So I don't know if it was the stress from the holidays or what exactly it was, but it's been about 2 weeks now. My boyfriend and I got in a huge fight, and I was just really scared. Like, there's so many things I have to do. I have to work, and I was like, I can't put up with this right now. I'm just gonna go stay with my friend until we both calm down. And so I got in my car. I drove over to my friend's house. I asked her if I could stay the night, and she was like, "Yes, of course. Take your time." And I I feel like things just it really like triggered something in me. After I stayed there for one night, it turned into two, and after 2 nights, it turned into three, and now I've been here about 2 weeks. So my boyfriend and I are no longer together. I've moved out. It's it's been kind of fast and unexpected.
Okay, that's a lot to unpack. I first want to check in with you. I want to take due diligence and check in with you. Um, are you safe? You mentioned that kind of like the final straw was a fight. Are you okay physically?
Yes. Yes, it was more it was actually just out of nowhere. And we were talking about who we wanted to spend Christmas with, and it just escalated and got so heated so quickly. I wanted to get away, and I know we've been working on just trying to be more healthy with my boundaries. So I decided just to leave um our home for the night. So I I'm kind of in disbelief that it's been as long as it has been. My boyfriend and I have been together for years, and now I haven't spoken to him in about 5 days, and I'm really I don't know if I'm okay with it. It's scary, but,
Sure.
it it was just really unexpected, and I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Of course, I miss him.
I understand.
Um, and I feel like it's been kind of weird to see how my family and friends have reacted. It's
Okay.
overwhelmingly the majority of people have been, I don't know, I would say happy, relieved,
Sure.
which makes me feel kind of weird because, it's my relationship. I've invested a lot of time and energy into it, and
Yes, but your family and friends, it's one can see where there might be some relief as they watched you participate in a relationship that wasn't always very healthy. To recap, um, the stress associated with the holiday season, making plans as to what to do for those for the holidays, led to a fight, which caused you to try and gain some distance and stay with a friend for the night, which then led into 2 nights and 3 is what it's sounding like. And you used the word triggered. Um, a trigger caused you to now extend this into a 2-week stay. And where we stand right now on this date and time is you are no longer with your boyfriend. Tell me a little bit more about that triggering thought or that triggering feeling that made this go from we just need one night apart to cool down to I'm done with this. Take me back there and tell me what that trigger felt like.
Ian, I guess it was finally scared enough, and I could see that he was getting aggressive. He was getting really heated, and it was such a small thing to me that I was just shocked by his behavior. Like, I know I expect him to be a little physical when he's angry, but usually I feel like the fight is more, it's about something important, or we're having a serious disagreement. Like, deciding where to spend the holidays isn't something that I would consider a big deal. Do you know what I mean? We've been together for years. We've had holidays with my family, we've had holidays with his family, usually a non-issue. I guess I kind of felt like he was searching for an excuse to be angry, or searching for an excuse to get like aggressive. And I don't know if it's been the counseling sessions or just being more aware of it, but I just knew I wanted to get away, at least to diffuse the situation for the night. Um, that it's been so long, Ian, I can't tell you what caused it. I just feel like the more time I spent away from him, the more hesitant I was to go home.
Okay,
Um, and it makes me sad, like it does. Like I can't explain it any other way than just I'm shocked, like, that the world keeps going.
sure. It
You know,
doesn't
I
stop.
I I get up, I get dressed, I go to work, I come home, I make dinner, I straighten up, I have my little chores that I do around the house because, I'm trying to be a good house guest. I don't wanna overstay my welcome or put anyone out, but
Absolutely. Very
I
interesting the words that you used, though. Um, scared. You used the word scared and feeling scared for because of this new start, this revelation that you didn't want to go home. I'm hearing that making plans was not necessarily something that would normally cause a fight. You mentioned
exactly.
that a fight was usually triggered by something more important,
Something at least
which is a strong word.
substantial. Like it wasn't like we were having a disagreement about something big. Like I know the last time we had like a really big like blow up fight where he pushed me and I broke my arm. We were talking about moving and like him wanting to stay close to his family, and I feel like that was emotional and heated. I can understand why he would get angry and not want to leave
A
his
heavier
brother.
subject for sure.
Exactly. But just to visit, I don't know. I guess it was along the same lines of family stuff, but I've never had a problem visiting his parents, and he's never had a problem visiting mine. So,
The holidays do bring about a certain level of stress and anxiety that many people don't talk about. We usually associate it with happy times and celebrations and gifts,
mhm.
but it can also cause a lot of stress. Now, keep in mind, Lauren, I am not saying that holiday anxieties, holiday related, high emotion stuff is any justification for any kind of fighting or physical violence, but it does go unsaid a lot and it does cause some stress. And I would like to congratulate you on having boundaries. It sounds like you finally drew a line in the sand. And part of that trigger, I know you mentioned that trigger was, it was such a small thing. It wasn't something really heavy. It wasn't a heavy conversation that caused this avalanche to start of events. But I more so wanted to know about that triggering thought that may have been linked to some sort of relief. Were you hit at any moment by the fact that you could come to a place that is safe, that where no one is going to hurt you? There's no fighting here. I feel safe here. Do you think that contributed to how this turned into a 1-night stay to now a 2-week stay, a forever stay if possible?
You know, if I'm sure maybe subconsciously, Ian, like it's definitely not something that I actively thought about. I
Mhm.
feel like it was more of a day at a time. Like I thought I would want to go back home. And maybe you're right, Ian. Maybe it's just the feeling of safety. Maybe that I have a little bit of support in my friend, my family and friends reassuring me that they're happy that I'm staying with a friend.
Now, in previous sessions, you were a little reserved to reach out to family and friends. I believe the words you used is you didn't want to be a burden to them. So something has changed and you have reached out to your support system. And I want to make sure that we are highlighting any kind of progress forward. So I'm glad you're leaning on those natural supports.
Right, right. And you know what, Ian, I think for the one night I felt comfortable reaching out to my friend, and I think I was surprised by the amount of support I received from her, and then everybody else kind of came after. But I think it's definitely contributed to me like staying as long as I have.
Okay, absolutely. And I'm very glad that you had the uh, strength to reach out and ask for help, especially in these difficult situations where there is domestic violence, where there is trauma. It is hard to reach out to people sometimes. Um, it's not an
Definitely
easy
not
situation.
not planned, Ian. Definitely not. Like I think I'm more surprised than even my friends and family.
Okay. Well, now that you've made this large decision, you're starting to cultivate a stronger support system. You're leaning on the support system that you have in place. Do you think that we are now in a spot where we can start creating and working on some therapeutic goals?
Sure, because I am struggling a little bit with just being it's it's scary and exciting. I've been trying to start saving
Okay,
to just be financially independent
okay,
from my boyfriend. Like, I'm used to splitting everything, so it has been kind of a challenge
absolutely.
to
And I know this is something that we have touched on before. I understand that it is scary.
it, it's just it creates a tiny bit of stress, a tiny bit of worry. But I know I can't stay with my friend forever, so maybe like a long-term goal of um finding my own apartment and living on my own. But right now, honestly, like my focus has been just on saving what I can. You just don't realize how much easier it is with two incomes.
Sure. Um, so I'm hearing independence and wanting your own apartment. Um, do you have a time frame in mind? Has your friend told you how long you can stay? Is there
She,
something?
she told me I could stay as long as I wanted, but
Mhm.
I would really like to be independent probably within 6 months. I feel like if I wait any longer than that, I would just I feel like I always say this. I don't want to be a burden or put anyone out.
Sure, sure. So we definitely want to be, so you want to be in a better spot in 6 months, maybe financially, having put aside some money to work towards that independence. So, as you've been talking, I've been jotting down some notes. And for your first treatment goal, I would like to create a budget so that I can move out within 1 year in order to be independent. How does that sound for a treatment goal for you?
I think that sounds perfect.
Okay, wonderful. I think that is doable. I know that you are employed and you have a safe place to stay while you save that money. And while I am not qualified to provide, financial advice per se, we can definitely put you in touch with some resources after this meeting if you want to meet with your case manager and let her know that any resources out there as far as budgeting or support groups that you can attend while you work on this goal. You and I can work on, at least getting that support in your goal and developing healthy habits. If you're in a good emotional state of mind, I believe you'll be more likely to maintain that goal and work on that goal and feel good about that goal. So we can continue to working on those, healthy relationships and healthy boundaries while you continue to work on your budget. What are some other things? Let's come up with one more goal to work on as you continue on in treatment.
I feel something that I am s- I don't know if it rubs me the wrong way or I'm having like mixed feelings about it is um I'm really excited to like start this new like independence and
Yes,
empower myself.
yes.
But I feel like there is a piece of me that's also very sad that my boyfriend and I are no longer together. There are all these plans and all these dreams that you built with someone else, and suddenly it's just gone.
Yes, that
Like
is a
I
very difficult thing to process and take in. That's a big statement. Yes.
yes, and I'm just a little bit I'm sad about it.
Okay.
I'm just a little down and I feel like when I bring it up to my friends and family, they're not super receptive. I'm getting more of the you're better off without him. Like this is new for you. Just start dating someone else. And I I'm just not comfortable with that. Like I
Okay. So it sounds to me like you may benefit from learning perhaps some new coping skills to help you cope with this sadness, with this exciting but also kind of sad new chapter. Do you feel like you have any good skills right now that you can use when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling stressed?
Well, when I'm feeling a little bit down, I try and go for like a walk around the neighborhood. I find that if I like get up and like do something just to
Mhm.
distract myself, that inevitably I'd get over it. Like it's changing my train of thought.
Okay. So you have one good skill. Um, how about we work on learning 3 new coping skills in the next 60 days to improve your feelings of sadness?
I would be open to learning something new to help me just to get over this just this feeling. I don't want no one wants to be sad.
Absolutely. We all want to be in a healthy state of mind. So, but I want to make sure that that goal sounds doable to you. Do you feel like do we need to maybe focus on learning one new coping skill in the next 30 days? Or do you feel like the 3 in 60 days is doable?
I feel like 3 in 60 days is doable. I mean, I've come so far already.
Absolutely. You definitely have made some progress, Lauren. I'm going to make sure that these new goals are printed up in your treatment plan for you to sign. And I very much look forward to continuing to support you in this new chapter in your life. And I'm very happy that you are now in a safe environment. Starting next week, we will continue to work on these goals. And let's go ahead and I will make sure and coordinate with your case manager after we end this call, just so that they're up to date on where you're at, these new turn of events, and that they're aware of these 2 new treatment goals that you would like to incorporate into your therapy sessions.
That sounds good. Thank you so much, Ian. It was really good to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Thank you for the update. We will talk soon.
All right.
All right,
Bye.
bye.